Dear friend, I am here a very interesting example for the analysis of a continuous beam with moment distribution method. The problem statement is there is a two-span continuous beam. It's a two-span continuous beam AB and BC having an overhang length of 2 meter and AB length is 3 meter and BC length is 4 meter and AB is subjected with a point load of 40 kilonewton at a distance of 1 meter from the support A, and span BC is subjected with a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter to its entire length, and moment inertia of span AB is 2I and moment inertia of span BC is 1.5I, and overhang length is supported with a point load of 10 kilonewton at its tip. Now, before analyzing through moment distribution method, you need to understand we have to follow some steps, and then after following these steps you will be able to form SFD and BMD of this continuous beam. So there are some steps. The first will be step first will be formation of distribution factors. Second steps will be calculation of fixed end moment. And step third will be formation of moment distribution table. And fourth step will be step 4 will be formation of loading diagram. Loading diagram will be having the external load which was acting on this beam and the calculated moment which we have found from the moment distribution table, which all loads and including these support reactions, which all will be shown in a loading diagram. Then we will do an analysis for finding out SFD and BMD through this loading diagram. Now I am going to follow step first, formation of distribution factor. This is the beam with overhang length of 2 meter. The overhang is from support C. Now we are identically we are forming the same beam here, but this beam will be converting to this beam by removing the overhang length of 2 meter. This 2 meter overhang length will be having the point load 10 kilonewton will be directly putting a moment value of 20 kilonewton. 10 multiplying with 2 will give 20 kilonewton meter of concentrated moment which will be acting at support C. So you can say, keeping AB and BC same but replacing this overhang length with a moment of 20 kilonewton meter, which is the external moment which is acting at support C. Now the moment of inertia 2I, 1.5I, everything will be same here. Length will be same and loading acting here 40 kilonewton at a length of 1 meter, and UDL to its entire length of span BC will be same. Now as per the distribution factors, there is a joint B through which moment will be distributed according to its distribution factors. So left of this joint B will be designated as BA, and right of this joint B will be designated as BC here, and stiffness, that is the relative stiffness, will be calculated for length BA will be 2I. 2I is this is the moment of inertia for AB, and for span BC it will having a moment of inertia 1.5I. So Moment of inertia divided by length will give the relative stiffness 2I divided by 3. It will be a 0.67I for span AB. Okay, that will be the stiffness of this member BA, and for member BC it will be moment of inertia 1.5 divided by length 4, but it will be further multiplied with a factor 3 by 4, and it will having a value of 0.28I. Actually here moment of inertia has been divided with length only, because you need to remember one point here. If the far end is a fixed support, if the far end is a fixed support, we need not to multiply with any factor with the stiffness value. And for if a far end is a hinge type, or you can hinge support, we will have to multiply with another factor, which will be 3 by 4. You have to remember this concept. So 1.5I divided by 4 multiplying with the another factor of 3 by 4, which will give a 2.8I. This is the relative stiffness for member BC, and this is the summation of stiffness, relative stiffness. 0.67I plus 0.28I, it will give a total of stiffness. This is the total stiffness. Summation K will be 0.95I. This value will be 0.95I. Now distribution factor is calculated as stiffness divided by total stiffness. For member BA, this is a member BA, stiffness we have calculated here 0.67I divided by 0.95, its value is getting 0.7. And for this member BC, stiffness calculated here 0.28I, and we are dividing it with total stiffness 0.95. 28I divided by 0.95 will give a distribution factor 3. So total stiffness will be 0.7 plus 0. Total distribution factor will be here 0.7 plus 0.3 equal to 1. Summing distribution factor at any joint will always give a unit value. Now we are moving to our second step, that is the calculation of fixed end moment. We are done with the step 1, formation of distribution factor. We are going to calculate the fixed end moment with step 2. Now here you can see here the identical beam which I have shown here with removing the overhang moment of 20 kilonewton, and it has been converted with a 2-span beam only. Span 1 is loaded with 40 kilonewton meter at a length of 1 meter from support A, and BC is with 20 kilonewton per meter UDL. And as you know, fixed end moment for a point load which is at a length of A and B, you can say here, if this load is W and this length is A and this length is B and total length is L, then fixed end moment is FEM. Fixed end moment will be WAB over L square. It will be the fixed end moment here, and for this one it will be fixed end moment of BC. Suppose it is A and this is B, then for BA will be WBA square, that will be AB square divided by L square. Same we are following here. Here A equal to 1, B equal to 2, and W equal to 40, and A plus B equal to length. Total length is 3 meter. So as this moment will be anti-clockwise direction, so as per our assumption we are taking anti-clockwise moment as negative value. So minus 1 will be multiplying with the moment. So minus 1 multiplying with the 40 to load W, A equal to 1, B equal to 2, I mean B square from this formula, divided by total length which is 3 square. I am getting a value of minus 17.78 kilonewton with negative value. That is the anti-clockwise moment here. The moment will be of anti-clockwise in this direction. And another moment, fixed end moment of BA, which will be from B to A, it will give a clockwise moment so we'll be using a positive value, and it will be WBA square. BA square, in place of B we will put 2, A will be we will putting for place of A 1, BA square divided by 3 square. I am getting a value of 8.89, which is a positive value. It means it's in clockwise directions. Now for this beam loaded with a UDL FEM for BC, this will be giving a anti-clockwise moment, and it will be a FMBC, and value will be minus WL square divided by 12. Minus W you can put 20 kilonewton, and L is the length, 40 square divided by 12. We are getting a value of minus 26.67 kilonewton meter. And for CB, which will be a clockwise moment, so it will be a positive WL square by 12. Same value will be here as the load and length is same. 26.67 is the moment, fixed end moment for CB. Now I am done with the calculation of distribution factor and fixed end moment. Now we are going to I am moving forward for the calculations for or formation of the moment distribution table. Here the step 3rd, formation of moment distribution table. Now this is the moment distribution table here. Now as per this table, there is a joint A, B and C. Joint through this joint A there will be a member AB. Through this joint B, through this joint A there will be a member AB. Through this joint B there will be a member B and BC, and there through this joint C there will be a member CB only. So you can say CB, AB and BA and BC according to this joint. So through this joint C it will be CB, through this joint A it will be AB, and through this joint B it will be B and BC. Since joint A is a fixed support, so its distribution factor will be 0. Nothing will be distributed through a fixed support. And the joint C, you can see here, this is a joint C. Joint C is a hinge, so its distribution factor is 1. Distribution factor is 1 here, and this is 0. And as per our calculation, distribution factor for joint B, left of this joint, will be having a distribution factor of 0.7. Here we have calculated for member BA 0.7, and for right of this member, that is BC, we have calculated 0.3. So we are putting here 0.3. Now FEM, fixed end moment. Fixed end moment we have calculated here for member BA. For AB we have calculated minus 17.78, minus 17.78, minus 17.78 kilonewton meter. For member BA we have calculated here 8.89, so we'll be putting here 8.89. For member BC we have calculated minus 26.67, so for BC it will be minus 26.67, and for CB it will having the same value but with positive sign, so here we are going to put 26.67. These are the fixed end moment we have calculated as per our this moment fixed end moment calculations. We are just putting the values here. Now we have to find the final moment, that is called the total moment. Here it will be total moment. We are going to calculate the total moment for every joint. Yeah, here first step, as you know, there is a, as we have converted the there was a overhang having a point load of 10 kilonewton, which acting at a point of at the tip of this cantilever portion at a length of 2 meters. So we have converted this we have removed this overhang and converted with a concentrated moment of 20 kilonewton at its joint. So as per our as per this rule, this is the moment which is the external moment, and it will be always remain as it is. So in order to make this joint C having a moment of 20 kilonewton, so we are going to uh, use something like this. $26.67 this is the value. This is the fixed end moment, but we need to convert it to a moment of 20 kilonewton meter with positive sign. So we have to subtract with this value minus 6.67, so that summing with this one we will give a value of 26.67. 26.67 minus 6.67, it will give a value of 20 kilonewton. 20 kilonewton meter, that is the external moment, or you can say the initial moment, which is subjected at joint C for the overhang moment. That is why we are here putting a value with negative sign, that is the balancing moment will be 6.67 minus 6.67, so that summing this and this will give a value of 20 kilonewton moment, which is the external or initial moment at joint C, which we are going to which we have removed the overhang part. So now this is the balancing moment, and so this balancing moment need to be carried to its nearest span, that is BC. So therefore we are going to divide this one with 2, or you can say we are going to multiply with 1.5. So its value will be 6.67 divided by 2, it will be minus 3.335. It will be coming with same sign. It has been divided, minus 6.67 divided by 2, and we are getting this value. Now we have done the balancing, and then we have carried out and this moment to as a carryover moment to its nearest span. So now again we need to balance joint B. Yes, so we need to add this moment. There is a moment 1 here, this moment, and second moment is this, and third moment is this one. Suppose you can designate with A, this is B, and this is C. Adding A plus B plus C will give some moment which needs to be balanced. A is value of 8.89 plus B having a value of minus 26.67, and C with value minus 3.335. So it will give a value 8.89 minus 26.67 and minus 3.335. It will give a value of 21.115. This is the total moment, but with negative sign. This is the total moment which is acting at joint B. In order to balance this, we need to apply a moment of same quantity. I mean, we have to add the same moment quantity, 21.115, but with opposite value, since it's negative, and same value of positive sign, so that here moment will be 0. So we are adding a same value of moment here, and this moment is the balancing moment for joint B, and this balancing moment will be multiplying with the respective distribution factor to get a balancing it will be the balancing moment. Okay, now here this total moment has been added to make this joint with having moment 0. So this 21.115 multiplying with this distribution factor BC, 21.115 multiplying with 0.3 will give a value of 6. This value will be 6.335, and the same value 21.115 will be multiplied with 0.7. 21.115 will be multiplied with 0.7 will give 14.78. These are the balancing moment for joint B with a distribution factor to the respective span which has been distributed here. Now this moment cannot be carried over here because we have already balanced this joint C. Now it's a point A is a fixed support, so this moment which we are balanced here for joint B, or we can say left part of this joint, or we can say at member BA, it will be carry over to the joint A. So we are going to transfer this moment and we are going to multiplying with a value of half of this value divided by 2. We are getting value of 7.39. Now this moment has been carried to joint A here. Now here the value are balanced here, so there is no need to go for another balancing. Here we are done with balancing and carryover. Now we need to add all this moment. Adding this moment, this and this add, will be getting minus 17.78 plus 7.39 will give a moment value of minus 10.39. Now adding this one and this one, what we are getting here, just add on 8.89 plus 14.78, we are getting a value of 23.67. and here we are going to add this one and this one. Now let's see, minus 26.67 minus 3.335 and adding 6.335, we will be getting the same value, minus 23.67. Here the two moment has been added to make this joint having moment 0. 23.67 plus minus 23.67, it will be giving a value of 0. So it's a check, left hand moment and right hand moment should have equal value, and we're going to add 26.67 minus 6.67. This is the 20. This is the initial moment or applied moment at joint A. You can say it's a concentrated moment which we have found by removing the overhang part. Now I have done with the moment distribution table. Here I have done, and through this moment distribution table and the loading which are already existing on this member, the continuous beam, will be showing a loading diagram. Through this we will form SFD and BMD. Now let's move here. These are the step 4 formation of loading diagram. Now here we are going to develop a loading diagram. So this is the member AB and this is the member BC. This is joint A, this is joint B, this is joint C, or you can say support A, support B and support C, and this is subjected with a UDL value of 20 kilonewton per meter. There is a point load of 40 kilonewton per meter at a length of 1 meter. 1 meter from this, and this length is 3 meter and this length is 4 meter. Now here we have calculated the moment value. Here the moment value, as you can see here, total moment at joint B is minus 10.39, which is with negative sign, so it is in anti-clockwise direction. Here will be a moment or value 10.39 kilonewton meter, and at joint B there will be a clockwise moment of 23.67 as we have calculated here. So there will be a clockwise moment of 23.67 kilonewton meter, and there will be anti-clockwise moment here to the right of the joint B. I mean for member BC, here it will be minus 23.67, but it will be anti-clockwise 23.67 kilonewton meter. And here at joint C, you can see at joint C the moment value is 20 kilonewton meter with a positive sign, so it is in clockwise direction. This is the 20 kilonewton meter with clockwise direction. These are the moment value and the loading which is actually subjected, which is applied to the two span AB and BC, and this is called as a loading diagram. Loading diagram. Through this loading diagram we are going to form SFD and BMD. Now here now you can say first part is to calculate SFD, formation of SFD. Formation of SFD. Formation of shear force diagram. As you can see, this is our loading diagram. So we'll separate out, it's a continuous beam AB and BC. We'll separate out two beam for our easy calculation. AB and BC will be solved separately. We will find reactions. Reaction for support A and support C will be here, and there will be two support reactions for B. If we analyze this span AB individually, it will give us support reactions here. If we analyze the span BC, it will again give a support reaction B. There will be two support reactions, you can understand here. This is the beam span AB. You can see here span AB. We are doing with this one. There is a load of 40 kilonewton and it's a joint. No, sorry, you can draw it here. Here there is a reaction R1 will be here. There is only reaction R2 here. We have calculated moment here. This moment is 10 kilonewton 10.39 kilonewton meter. There is a point load of 40 kilonewton acting at a length of 1 meter, and total length is 3 meter. Okay, and there is a moment value of 23.67 kilonewton meter. Now we are going to find the reactions R1 and R2. As per total load acting on this beam, the vertical load acting on this beam is 40 kilonewton, and there is a reactions R1 and R2 which were in upward direction. So R1 plus R2 will be 40 kilonewton as sum of the vertical load, or you can say Fy equal to 0. Therefore R1 and R2 will be 40 kilonewton. Now we are taking a moment. This point is, we are going to designate here is A, this point is B. Now we are taking total moment about A, which will be 0. As per the rule, we know that moment through any joint, a total moment through any joint will be always 0. So from the equilibrium condition for moment, total moment through A will be 0, and total vertical load through for a beam will be 0. So here we are using two formula. Here R1 and R2 40, R1 plus R2 equal to 40. Now we are going to find value of we are going to do some total moment for joint A. Now we are taking anti-clockwise moment negative. It is negative value. So R2 multiplying with this length 3 minus 3 R2, it will be giving because R2 will giving anti-clockwise moment through the joint A. So minus 3R2, and there is a moment of 23.67, which is of value positive sign because it is acting in clockwise direction, and 40 kilonewton of point load will giving a clockwise moment about joint A. So, and it is acting at a length 1 meter, so 40 into 1, it will give a value of 40 into 1. Then minus 10 plus 10.39 is acting in anti-clockwise direction. So we are going to using this moment with negative sign 10.39 h per hour rule, negative moment value will be used for anti-clockwise moment. It will be 0. Therefore 3R2 will be here 23 23.67 plus 40 minus 10.39 divided by 3. Now it will be 53.28, and you can say R2 will be 53.28 divided by 3 will be 17.76 kilonewton. Here I am done with calculation for reactions R2. Now R1 will be R1 plus R2 is 40, so R1 plus R2 equal to 40. Therefore R1 will be 40 minus 17.76. This value will be 40 minus 17.76. It will give a value of 22.24 kilonewton. Now I have calculated for reactions R1 and R2 for span AB. Now we shall move to reactions calculations for span BC, so that we will able to draw S of D for this beam. Here the loading diagram will be same. I am writing here. This is the beam. Loading diagram will be in this way, because we have used the fixed moment, so we are removing the fixed support here. It will be the loading diagram removing the fixed support, and it will be here like this. Now loading diagram will be here. Load value is as per the calculated moment from the moment distribution table, where the value of moment is 10.39, this moment is 23.67, this moment is 23.67, and this moment is the applied moment of 20, and there is a point load of 40 kilonewton acting at a length of 1 meter. Length of the beam is 3 meter and this length is 4 meter, and this span is loaded with UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter. Now I am done with the span AB. Calculation of reactions R1 and R2 we are doing with span BC. Here this point is A, this is B, this is C. Now we are calculating for reaction for support B and support C, which will be, as we have done with reaction R1 and R2, we are analyzing the span BC. Span BC here. Now it will be here. This joint is B, this is C, and this is loaded with 20 kilonewton per meter. This load is 23.67, and this support is R3 and this support is R4. Now as per the equilibrium for vertical load, sum of the vertical load will be 0. So here R3 plus R4 will be equal to 20 multiplying with this length is 4 meter. This is per meter length. Multiplying with 4 will give the total load. It will be 80 kilonewton. Now taking moment about point B, total moment about point B will be 0. So we are showing here some summation MB equal to 0. Now R4 will create an anti-clockwise moment about this point B, and this 20 km per meter will create a clockwise moment. And this is the anti-clockwise moment and this is the anti-clockwise moment. Taking the sign convention here, same as we are solving throughout this example, anti-clockwise moment is taking negative. So R4 multiplying with this length 4 will give the anti-clockwise moment of minus 4 into R4 plus we are adding 20 kilonewton is a clockwise moment. This is the UDL which giving a clockwise moment here. So it will give a with positive sign. 20 multiplying with this length will be the total force, and this force is acting at a length of half of this length, I mean 4 divided by 2, and this anti-clockwise moment will be with negative sign 23.67. It will be 0. Therefore 4R4 will be here 20 into 4 multiplying with 2, it will give 160 and minus 23.67. Therefore R4 will be 20 plus 160 minus 23.67 divided by 4. It will give 39.08. as R4 plus here R4 plus R3 is 80, so R3 will be equal to 80 minus 39.08. It will give 80 minus answer, it will give 40.92 kilonewton. Now we are done with the complete loading diagram. We have found the fixed end moment, that is the total moment acting at this support, again the fixed end moment. We are done with the reactive forces, reactions for R1, R2, R3 and R4. This joint B will having a two reaction R2 and R3. It will have R4. This will be the R1. So we can show here with a loading diagram. Now just we are going to revise loading diagram with all loading showing here. Here, this is the beam AB. Here you can see, as we have splitted this beam to two span, there will be a two support here. Here it will be R1. Here it will be R2. Here it will be R3, and it will be R4. And moment value will be here 10.39 anti-clockwise. Here it will be 23.67. Here it will be 23.67, and here it will be clockwise moment of 20, and it will having a UDL value of 20 kilonewton per meter length, and there will be a point load of 40 kilonewton here at a length of 1 meter from here support A. This is the support A. This is support A, this is support B, and this is support C. At support B there will be two reactions, R2, R3, and at C there will be R4. So summary for reactions, or you can say reactive force. Summary for reactive force. So that we can develop a shear force. R1 value equal to, here we have calculated here for the span AB, R1 is 22.24 and R2 17.76. R1 is 22.24 kilonewton and R2 value is 17.76 kilonewton. And from here for the span B, as you have calculated, we have analyzed span BC and found reaction R3 and R4, and R3 value is 40.92, R3 value is 40.92 kilonewton, and R4 value is here 39.08. Now we are done with the reactions of all values of R1, R2, R3 and R4 here. So it will be very easy for us to develop a shear force diagram here. Now let's draw a beam here, two span beam. This will be a joint A, this will joint B, and this will joint C. Now as you can see here, R1 having a value of 22.24, and so it will having a value of 22.24 kilonewton, and it will be constant value up to length 1 meter, as only a point load is acting at a length of 1 meter. So there will be change of shear here at this point here only. So it will give a constant value of shear 22.24, and when it will be reaching at this point where the vertical load of 40 kN is acting here, so here shear force will be 22.24, and the upward force has been taken positive and downward has been negative, so 40 will be shown here with negative sign. So 22.24 minus 40 will give a value of minus 17.76. so it will give a shear force of value 17.76. so this value will be here, this value will be here 17.76 kilonewton, and as after this point load there is no any load acting in this beam, so it will be constantly running to the point B. But at B you can see here there is a load value of R3 and R2 and R3 is acting here, so it will give a value of 39.08, 40.92. okay, yeah, 40.92 here. This is right of this section. Yeah, so it will be directly jump from 17.76 here, this is the value, and at point R3 value is 40.92, so it will be jump here like this. This value will be 40 point how much 92 value, and you can see here this is a UDL, so this load will decrease the shear force here, so it will and it's a shear force diagram for a UDL is a linear, there is a function of x, so linear diagram will be there. So shear force here will be changing from here to here up to point C, and its value will be at R4, reactive value 39.08, so it will be 39.08. You can detail out, because I have given you the all load here. You can draw a shear force diagram, because if you are able to make any determinate beam, so it's very easy to draw a shear force diagram. I am not going to detail you with the shear force diagram, but I have given you all the loading here, so you can easily draw a SFD for this continuous beam. Now this is the profile of shear force. This that I am drawing here, this is the profile of shear force. The shaded portion will give the shear force diagram that I am drawing here. This is the shear force diagram. Shear force diagram here, SFD. This is shear force diagram. Now we are going to draw BMD, bending moment diagram. Now here this is the loading diagram which we are going to follow everywhere, either forming SFD or BMD. This is the final loading diagram showing all the reactive forces, all the external loaded and the all calculated fixed end moment. This is the final loading diagram. Final loading diagram which are going to use again and again to draw SFD, BMD. Yeah. Here we should over here we are going to draw the same loading diagram, so that it will be very easy for us to draw a BMD in this page. Now loading diagram is here. The beam is loading here. This beam is, this is A, this is B, and this is C. This joint is A, this joint is B, and this is C. And loading value is shown here as 10.39. This moment is 23.67, and this anti-clockwise moment 23.67 at point B, and at C there is a 20 kN of moment. There is the external moment, and there will be a UDL value of 20 at span BC, and there is a joint load of 40 kN which is acting at a length of 1 meter from support A. Now as this joint, this point load is acting at this point, so it will give a maximum, as you have analyzed the determinate beam. I think you have understood all this concept, that maximum moment will be giving at a point load here. So here we are going to find out the moment at this point. Suppose this point is D, you can say its point is D, where the point load of 40 kN is acting in this span AB. Now we are going to separate out this span AB. We are going to draw BMD, bending moment diagram. We are going to draw bending moment diagram, BMD, separating out span AB. Writing all the reactive values here, as I have summarized reactive values in my previous page. You can see here. Yeah, there is a reactive forces here for span AB. This is the reactive force R1, value is 22.24. This is R2, value is 17.76. And as per the loading diagram, this is the anti-clockwise moment of 10.39. This is a clockwise moment of 23.67. There is a joint load of 40 kN acting at a length of 1 meter, and length of this beam is 3 meter. And we are going to find moment at joint D. This is the joint D. This is A, support A, this support B. Now we are going to find MD equal to what? Moment at point D. If we are taking this left of this joint D, moment through this joint, sum of the moment through this joint will be having a value of 0 moment, because at every point summation of moment will be 0 as per the equilibrium of moment. Okay, so you can say, suppose we are separating out this point, this part of this beam, okay, so it will be having something like this is A, and this will give a moment here. It will be a value of moment 10.39. reactive force is here R1 value is 22.24, and we are going to find moment here. This is very easy, because joint load and point load is acting at the same point, so it will not creating any moment here. So it's a length of 1 meter. Therefore moment at this, you can say summation of moment at this will what? Suppose we are taking this moment MD. Okay, so total moment will be what? You can say here summation of all moment through this joint D will be R1 multiplying with this one value. R1 will giving a clockwise moment here, so R1 will be value of 22.24 multiplying with this one. This will give a value of minus 10.39, because it's giving anti-clockwise moment at point joint A, and this point joint D, and we are assuming a moment at point D is with anti-clockwise direction, so it will be minus MD. Total will be 0, so you can say MD value will be 22.24 minus 10.39. 22.24 minus 10.39 is giving a value of 11.85. This is coming positive, so our assumption is correct, as we have assumed moment value at T is in anti-clockwise directions. Now we are done with the moment at joint D. So we will be able to draw a bending moment for, and we can say that profile of bending moment will be of linear. Now we are going to analyze span. This is for span AB. Now we are going to analyze for span BC, so that we will draw a bending moment diagram. Now using the same loading diagram, we are separating out this part only, BC. Here we are taking span BC. This is BC. This is acting with the joint anti-clockwise moment of 23.67 here. This is acting with a moment of 20 kilonewton in clockwise direction. Here we are taking this one, and it is subjected with external loading of 20 kilonewton per meter length of UDL, and this length is L. Sorry, this length is 4 meter. Now we are going to find a moment at mid span. Here suppose BC, we have already taken D for span AB, so we are taking this E, this point E. So we need to find bending moment E will be what? Now, as you know that mid-span moment now mid-span moment will be what? Yeah, I mean at point E will be what? For that we need to know reactive forces at B and C. Here the reactive forces is R3, where it will be R3, and here it will be R4. As we have calculated reactive forces here, summarized reactive forces R3 and R4 here. We have already shown you this is the R3 and this is R4. So in place of R3 we are going to write 40.92. R3 will be 40.92, and in place of R4 we are going to write 39.08. Okay, now we are taking this part only to develop a bending moment for at point B. So we are separating this part of this beam. So we will draw here this is the point E here. Okay, now we are going to find this moment ME. Now this reactive force is 40.992 here, and there is a anticlockwise moment of 23.67, and here up to the span of 2 meter. Here mid span, we are going to calculate the mid span moment. So it is a length of 2 meter here, as it is 4 meter length of beam. Therefore we need to find the bending moment at point E, which is we have assumed in anticlockwise direction. So summation of bending moment about E will be 0. Total moment about E will be 0. So taking moment about E, it will 40.92 will create a clockwise moment. So this 40.92 multiplying with this length will give a clockwise moment with positive sign. This is the anticlockwise moment, so we are taking this one 23.67 with negative value, and as you have assumed this in anticlockwise direction, so it will give a ME. This value will be 0. So ME will be 40.92 multiplying with length 2 minus 23.67. It will give we have left something here. There is also, we have missed here, this length of this beam is loaded with a UDL of 20 kilonewton that we have not shown here, 20 kilonewton per meter length, and this is also creating an anticlockwise moment. This load is creating anticlockwise moment about this point E. So here we will be writing here 20 multiplying with length 2, and it will, this total load 20 multiplying with this 2 will give total load. It will be acting at center of this length 2. So 2 divided by 2, then it will be 0. Now it will get cancelled here. So ME will be 40.92 to 2 minus 23.67 minus 40. This value will be minus 18.17 kilonewton meter. The mid-span moment at this is beam BC will be 18.17. Now we have the support moment, we have the mid-span moment of two beam AB and BC. So we can draw bending moment here as per the loading diagram. this is our loading diagram. Final loading diagram is this one. This is the final loading diagram. So we will draw a bending moment here, something like this. This is the beam, this is point A, this is point B, and this point is C. Here there is a fixed end moment of 10.39, so we will draw a value of 10.39. It will be in this direction 10.39, and there is a we have calculated span moment here for this beam, which is a value 11.85 at a distance of 1 meter from this. At 1 meter there is a moment value of, here you can say it will be in this direction. This value will be 11.85. This is the MD which we have calculated at point D. Now this is value MD we have just write down here. This point is D, and we have taken another point, that is point E. Now it will be at point B. The fixed end moment is, as per the loading diagram, you can see here total loading diagram is here. Here is the 23.67 is the loading diagram. So bending moment, fixed end moment is 23.67. 23.67. It will be joining here, and this span is supported with a UDL, so the bending moment curve will be a parabolic curve, and at point C there is a fixed end moment of 20 kilonewton. So we will draw a fixed end moment of 20 kilonewton. It will be a 20 kilonewton meter. So we will draw a parabolic curve here. This is the bending moment diagram. Now we will draw with hatch portion that what is our actual bending moment diagram. This is the bending moment diagram as we have, as per our analysis. The support moment at point, you can say MD, value is 11.85. Support moment, not it, span moment. At point E it will be a moment that is called ME. Span moment will be here we have calculated, that is here 18.17. Here we have analyzed the beam BC with this loading diagram and calculated ME here 18.17. This value will be 18.17. So 18.17 is the bending moment. So this is the BMD. This is the bending moment diagram for this two-span continuous beam having an overhang. And as I have told in my introduction of this lecture, that I will also solve this example using the conventional method. Actually the lecture has been for more than 1 hour, so if I am going to solve the same bending moment diagram using conventional method, it will become it will be a very lengthy lecture. So I hope I will do the calculations of bending moment diagram with another lecture with conventional method. Separate lecture I will be giving for the same example, but bending moment will be drawn with conventional method with the same loading diagram. Thank you for watching. Keep sharing to your friends and colleagues. Thanks a lot.